everyone. I'm Peggy Rometo, and this is the Weekly Wake Up. Okay, so we're slowing down, we're stopping, we're taking that moment to be able to check in, be able to see what we can perceive for our week, notice what's coming up. It's just an opportunity for us to begin to train ourselves to listen to the always ever responding universe to us, to give us and meet us our needs and to create opportunity. So that's the point of the weekly wake up, is to train us to be able to pay attention. So let's do that. We're going to do it as always with our breath, stopping and slowing down, taking 3 long breaths in and 3 breaths out. And any conversation or dialogue that may be happening for you, you just kind of want to let it go. Don't force it, don't push it. Just breathe and notice it. And then as I open to the weekly wake up, just pay attention and notice, does that make sense to me? Does that feel right to me? It may be that you get added information about your week. It may be that you get a message for somebody else. The process is as information comes in, we want to discern it with our body. Does that feel true for me? Does that feel off for me? The same way you would listen in a conversation. It's just helping us kind of slow down, pay attention to those little nuances so we can really feel the truth for ourselves. So that's the benefit of doing this as a practice, and hopefully you're incorporating it into your daily life so that you can be more tuned in to what's going on for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. And it always seems like I have an itchy nose sometimes when I start these things. So a little crazy. I don't know what that twitch is about. So we all have these little nuances that our body does. So we just want to relax, let go. Just take 3 long breaths in and out, and then we'll start. Okay, so right away they're showing me that there's this big key that you have, and this key unlocks a door to your future, and that you have the key, but you have to use the key. You're the one who knows where the key goes, which lock it will open, and it may take some courage to open that lock, courage to stand up, courage to be noticed, courage to use your voice, courage to say, I matter, courage to say, will you help me, courage to say, stop that, courage to say, do you need my help? Courage to say, oh, no, right? Or courage to say yes. So there's something that we're all facing the beginning of this week that we're being asked to do that's a little uncomfortable for us. And if we do it, there's big rewards that can happen. That doesn't mean that whatever it is you're asked to do, whether it's to go talk to your boss and ask for a raise, or whether it's to tell your partner that the relationship isn't working anymore and that you need to take a break, or if it's that you have a health issue and you have to share it with your family or friends, right? So whatever that difficulty is, just know that by you opening the door, turning the key and stepping through it, you're going to have peace, and you're going to create this big, they're showing me this big water just pushing you and opening and nurturing all the other areas of your life. So whatever, it's like you're blocking your own flow. So when we turn that key, open the door, step through it by asking or saying or responding in a way that is uncomfortable for us, but it's a necessity. It's important that we do this. Immediately the rest of our life is going to be nourished. Immediately there's a flow that wasn't there previous to our asking or previous to our saying or stating our need. So right away we start this week with a big ask, a big opportunity to be seen, and an opportunity to say what it is that we're looking for. And if you don't know, if you're a little stuck and say, I have no idea what she's talking about, then stop and ask the universe, show me what I'm not doing, show me what I'm not asking for, show me, what's in my way. And a lot of times confusion will come up, and confusion is just a protection of the ego. It's that part of yourself that just gets into confusion so that you don't have to deal. So you really don't have to do what's being asked of you. So if you find yourself in confusion, you just want to say, enough, I'm done being confused. Tell me straight up what it is. And a lot of times it will be shown to you. Like you'll get a message from somebody else, and then that message will repeat itself. So it may come in 2 or 3 different ways, but it will be consistent. And that's how you know, aha, that's the thing that I'm resisting doing that I need to do. So whatever it is that is creating a little bit of anxiety or a little excitement or a little anticipation of like, I want to do this, but I'm a little afraid, That's the thing you need to be doing this week. So right away, they're showing me on Monday something big that you're being asked to do, that you're being asked to share, or it could even be asking for somebody's help that's uncomfortable for you. And just be honest, even being honest that it's uncomfortable for you, and being honest that, we don't like to ask for help, or I don't like to do these things, but it's necessary. I have to fire you. I have to let you go. I can't give you money anymore. Situations have changed. It's difficult to do these things. And at the same time, it's very much necessary, both for yourself and the person that you're having this conversation with. So just keep that in mind when you're in that space of, I don't like this, that there is something that you both are going to grow and learn from it. Okay. And then, of course, the key is to never be attached to how the other person is going to look or respond, because all we ever have control over is ourselves. So you just think of it as planting seeds, doing my best and letting it go, and not having any attachment to what the outcome may look like. That if you're asking for something, it may not come from that person, it could come from someplace else. Or by the fact that I'm asking to borrow money here, I might get it over here, right? Like those sorts of things. Okay, so let's see what else is in store for us this week. Nice. Okay, so I feel this real rush of happiness coming in, completion, an opportunity of a job well done, feeling safe and secure in our own energy, and being able to expand that energy to other people, and a sense of gratification of really making a difference for people. So a lot of you are going to have an opportunity to support other people, to be able to serve, to be able to notice what you do in the world matters. So your own self-esteem is expanded. And then there's just appreciation coming back towards you for having the courage to do things that maybe you would be comfortable with otherwise. So let's see what else there is. And for some of you, there's some grief, locked up grief that you don't quite know how to get out of, that you may have to ask for help for, that you may have to, call somebody, a best friend, a family member, an ex for some help or support, and that's uncomfortable. But just know that when you do that, it'll release the drain. It'll just drain out of you. So, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. Whenever truth is spoken to you, there's an awareness that happens. Like, yeah, I know, I have to do that, or yeah. So be aware that if you're not feeling that, then that message isn't for you. Then it's something else for you. So just know that, trust your instincts, right, is what I'm saying. Okay, so let's see what else is in store for us this week. So family is really important this week, and family means different things to different people. Sometimes family members aren't blood members, right? But they're people that you feel like family with. And so I just see this week supporting and holding on to family, like holding one another's hands, supporting one another. It doesn't mean that there's a crisis that's going to happen. It just means that there's a connection or an opportunity to be able to include people in, or invite them in, or to make them feel close, or that it could be that they need your help and or support, that you're being asked to reach out to family, to stay close to family, to feel connected to family, and to not let other things get in the way. So make sure that you are being proactive in connecting with your family this week, and supporting them, or asking what they may need, or what maybe they don't need from you anymore, right? My husband had a great question the other day, and was to ask somebody that was important in his life, what do you need more from me, and what do you need less of from me? And I thought that was a brilliant question. So that's coming up as something that we can share this week, and something that maybe you could use with somebody close to you, that to help you have more understanding of how to support one another. Okay, so definitely support coming up this week. Let's see what else is in store for us this week. Some of you may get knocked down, hit on the head. Wow, that didn't go the way I thought. Wow, I misread that whole situation, or didn't see that coming. It could be, it could be that your partner leaves you. It could be that your boss is telling you the company's closing down. It could be that You get a rejection letter about something that you thought was a done deal. It could be that you had a new job lined up and suddenly they're telling you there's a hiring freeze and you can't go to work there now. There's just this like bling, like, wow, I didn't see that coming sort of energy for some people. That can be a carryover from this Leo astrology, Leo Aquarius eclipse that just happened last week on the 31st, right? Because we know that eclipses eclipse things out of our life. So there could be things that just suddenly hit you over the head that you were not expecting. It could even be in terms of family members and things that are going on with them, and suddenly somebody's up and moving or got a job offer and are leaving now. It could be that suddenly there's a pregnancy or delivery of a birth that's early, right? So it's just there's this shock that can happen, or a thing being hit on the head wake you up. By the way, it doesn't have to be painful. Sometimes it's just a wake-up call about ourself. Get out of your own way. You may see how you're in your own way. You may see a behavior that doesn't work anymore. You could be able to see something, a way that you're treating your spouse, or the way that you're treating your business partner or your son or your daughter or a next door neighbor or a colleague or coworker, or just somebody on the street that feels at odds with yourself and you never saw it before, and this like this wake-up call, like, wow, I had no idea I was that person, or I became that individual. So I feel like some of us are going to get this kind of like a crack in the facade, thinking we're perfect and we're not, right? Or seeing how we've stepped on somebody's toes and didn't know it, and they come back to let us know how we hurt them. So just be aware that some of us could get these shocks this week about our behaviors or about what we didn't know or didn't see about ourselves, and may need to self-correct. When you do that, just do it with love, right? Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes, and when we see something about ourselves, you don't want to beat yourself up. You want to have compassion for yourself. Just recognize it, clean up the mess, apologize, be authentic, and then move on, right? So it's not about sinking into a depression or getting down on yourself that you can't recover. It's just about recognizing it and continuing forward. For some people, this means losses. It means like there might be a loss of income or a loss of expectation, or somebody that they felt was going to do something with them. Maybe you had a friend that you planned a trip together and now they're backing out, right? And you're stuck with 2 tickets to nowhere, right? That they're not going with you now, and now you've got to find somebody else, right? So it could also be where there's something that was set in motion and one person's going the other direction now. And so there can be disappointment this week too about changes. The thing that you want to know, that whatever change is happening, there's like a higher gear that you can go into so that it negates the negativity or the feeling of helplessness. So if you stop and accept whatever that perceived initial, oh my God, that's terrible, or geez, that sucks, or God, now I have to deal with that. If you can, whatever that thing is that initially comes in to grab you, if you can move into the next gear, you'll be able to see an opening for yourself that something is better, something is bigger, something that is grander, better was meant to happen. And it is a positive. It ultimately ends up being like the light at the end of the tunnel, right? Or that shining star that, wow, if that didn't happen, this over here would have never happened. So just know that whatever slight, small bump in the road or misstep or thing that we see as a setback, that ultimately it is a course correction that needed to happen to get us really where we needed to go. So any course corrections that happen this week, embrace them, love them, celebrate them, and know that, wow, this is the antidote. This is the thing that I needed to be able to elevate my consciousness even more, to be able to be who I was meant to be in the world, in my relationships. This is the thing that I needed so that I could take that next best step for myself in my life, okay? So some of us are going to get these bumps on the heads or these adjustments along the way this week, and you just want to accept it, embrace it, and move on. All right, anything else that we need to know this week that we're not aware of? Yeah, take your time. There's no rush, right? So, which is, sometimes paradoxical, right? Because we're thinking, oh my God, I got to be the first to the market, or oh my gosh, I have to be the first in line, or wow, if I don't do this, somebody else is going to do it. It's about, sometimes it's just about slowing down so you're where the energy's at. So when we can slow down and become present, when we're present, all time drops away, and then everything can be brought to us. So instead of chasing crazy after, something we got to go do or somebody we want in our life, it's about being still and allowing the universe to deliver it to us. So it's a different way to manifest things. And what you're being asked to do this week is to be able to think bigger, be able to step outside of the boundaries of your mind and go, you know what? I want to work with that person. Okay, if I'm meant to work with that person, bring them into my life, or I want to work for that company. So make that happen, God. If that's the next best step for me, work that out, arrange it so that I get that interview, or bring it to me that I meet that person over there because I want a soulmate relationship with them. I want to date them. I feel such a strong connection to them, right? So whatever your heart prayer is, put it out, let it go, and then notice what's being brought to you. And you're going to find that this week, things can be simple and powerful. So the whole energy of this week is very powerful and simply. We take action, we use a heart prayer to put it out, and then it's going to be brought in. And the things that aren't meant to be are going to break apart and fall away. And for some of us, that might mean we get a knock on the head because we're not paying attention or we're not listening. So that's the overall theme for this week, is if we're taking committed action, we don't have to have that knock on the head, right? If we're making the hard steps or doing the things that are uncomfortable, then we don't have to get those wake-up calls. We don't have to have the shocking things because we're not stuck back there. We're at the right place at the right time under the right conditions, right? Which we talked about last week. So using that energy, riding forward, moving forward this week fearlessly and peacefully and joyfully, slow down. Notice what action you need to take for yourself. Take the action. You've got the key. Open the door. Unlock it. You're going to have an amazing week. There's this huge energy, and then all this thing floods into your life and nurtures it. So it's a really incredible, wonderful energy. I don't know if you guys are sensitive. You can feel it, but as I say that, I get this rush from the bottom of my feet all the way up through my body. So I hope you can just notice if you're starting to feel goosebumps or vibrations down by your legs or by your ankles. That's this energy, when you take action this week, can be brought in to fill you, to nurture you. It doesn't mean you're going to maybe get what you want. It doesn't mean that just that if I ask for this, I'm going to get it. It means that you've unlocked something inside of you that will bring that next piece in. And we may think that we know what it is, or we may think we know what we want, but the universe may again surprise us, or it could be that as well. But the point is that we've taken the action. And by taking the action, we are going to be nurtured, and in turn, our life is going to be nurtured, and we're going to be happier. All right, you guys, an exciting week, opportunity for us to kind of go a little bit against our anxiety or our nature or our nervousness, and to become fiercely passionate and doing what we need to do. All right, have an amazing week, everyone. Lots of love to you. If you like my weekly wake up, please comment below. I love it when you talk to me, and please share it with your friends, anybody that you think could gain some wisdom through knowing their own connection with Source. And I look forward to connecting with you again next week. Have a great week, everybody.